Hello, hello, and welcome back to shelter. I've made a decision. It's fine. It's fine. I don't say anything. I try to. But only an incomprehensible yelp escapes my throat. Then I just start crying. I can't stop the tears dripping down my cheeks, and I don't care. Burry comes closer and embraces me. He pets my head and whispers to me, "It's finally okay for me to cry. Everything is going to get better soon." It was a long, hellish night. Before we managed to find the way out of the baths, a monster assaulted me and Burry at our most vulnerable moment. We couldn't react in time. By the time Rune and Max came to rescue us, Burry was badly bitten in the leg while trying to protect me. He was out of commission for the rest of the night. Eventually, we managed to escape the baths and put shelter back online, driving most of the monsters away. However, that was a victory brought with a lot of losses. Our gardens were destroyed, and a lot of innocent dogs lost their lives. Those of us who survived were in sorrow for those we lost. It was 2 nights after that incident that limping Burry and I left without telling anyone. I only left a note with an explanation and apologies. We arrived at Morrisburg the next midday, and one of Burry's friendly merchants transported us to the corrupted borderlands in secret. We traveled all the way to the country of Saurians and repurposed a small cavern into a cozy home just for the two of us. There weren't any other people around, and we had much more food growing around than we needed. Burry's culinary skills blossomed, and those exotic ingredients. The first year was idyllic, complete freedom, without a single responsibility or worry on our minds. I was happy. Burry seemed to be happy too. We never talked about shelter. We were fully focused on the wonders of the present, our new lives. Except, everything I noticed Burry getting lost in. Eventually, I noticed Burry getting lost in thought more and more often. He always laughed that off apologetically whenever I pointed that out. Even though we never talked about that, I knew he was thinking about shelter. And I did too. All the people we abandoned, how were they doing after we left? Did they leave as well? Or were they still waiting in now cold shelter? Living in hope I would return one day. I did all I could to stop thinking about that. Burry also never brought that up. It was his idea to leave, after all. Until one night, we did bring that up. We had a fight about something stupid and insignificant, and I said something hurtful to him. He, in turn, shouted out his disappointment in both of us for abandoning our friends. I don't even remember the exact words. However, I remember we didn't talk for a week afterwards. That was awful. Eventually, we apologized to each other, and swore to never bring up the topic of shelter ever again for the rest of our lives. We actually managed to keep that promise for our remaining years in seclusion. We led a humble, calm life in the comfort of each other's company. I was happy. I really was. Every morning I woke up to the smile of my best friend, and eventually a lover. Those were beautiful days. Yes, the days were wonderful. It was only the late nights that were a problem. That was because the coldness in my stomach that kept me awake at night back in shelter, it didn't disappear even after I left. It never did. Until the day of our untimely deaths, it only grew. The end. Ah. Liberation. Ah. Liberators. Bushy, please print Liberator Garmore. Well, we're gonna go to the Barkus corner. Good to see you again, Alon.
I bet. It's been a while.
Can I have a hug? It would really cheer me up.
Absolutely not. Why would you ever need cheering up? Aren't you happy?
No, not at all.
Even though you survived the night and finally broke free.
I didn't feel free. That was horrible. The guilt. And all the repercussions of that decision. I didn't ever want to think about that. But I did think a lot. Every night I laid down in bed trying to sleep, and all I could think of was how the shelter dogs had to be feeling at that time. They had to be so lost. I shouldn't have done that. Everyone suffered from the decision, me included. Next time I won't make that mistake.
To be honest, I'd hoped you'd be a bit more in denial than that. My whole thing here is explaining how wrong you are. You know. What am I even doing here if you already have everything figured out?
Sorry. Well, let me think. I know it wasn't all that bad. For one, the sex with Burry was pretty freaking amazing. Sometimes it made me think that alone was worth the betrayal. Oh, don't look at me like that. It's true though. It's true. Don't look at me like that. This is a true statement. don't don't judge me.
Slut.
That's so rude. Hey, I always felt guilty about that immediately after finishing.
As you should. If you wanted to be a lone wolf, you shouldn't have started a bloody town. Don't give them hope and then take it away.
Alon. I play Link Joker. Well, I'm building Link Joker. I'm buying Chaos Breaker. Like, that's kind of his entire gimmick. Well, to be fair, I mostly needed just a break. But the break just somehow never ended. Yeah.
And I can understand that. Despite being a master of persuasion and with irresistible handsomeness, I actually considered myself an introvert. My mind regains balance in the barkness, in loneliness. Yet what may fool myself may not heal your bleeding heart. For people like you and me, freedom alone isn't enough to soothe those aching wounds. They have to be branded with fire.
I know. I already made my decision long ago. During those long sleepless nights, as well as within my dreams, I often replayed the same moment in my head over and over. If only I said something different that time. If only I was a little stronger. If only I could go back and set things right. They are waiting for me. I'm sure they are. Well, guess what? They won't need to wait that much longer.
Huh, good. Very good. Go back then. Show me your resolve. Go get him.
I hope there will be sex at the end of that other path, too. Oh, no, don't look at me like that. Okay. Listen to take a nap in late morning. Okay. Convince Alon to join you in the... You can get him into the baths! What? Wait a minute. Okay, wait. Wait, mysterious figure. At one point during the early morning scene, a mysterious figure will appear behind one of the pillars. Click it. If you can't find him, look for the screen containing a bit of script shown below. I know. That's the breath of... Okay. Oh no, don't show me my playtime. Don't show me my playtime. I'm slow, guys. It's fine. Okay, spend your afternoon with Rune. Yeah, like that's happening. Return Teak his lost relic during Rune's... Oh, god, okay. Get the Basset and the Great Pyrenees closer together during Max's hangout. Oh, okay. Okay. Well, we'll do the thing. Oh god. It's fine. We'll go back again, and don't look at these dates. Don't look at them. It's fine.
Luke, why are you looking at me like that? I mean, what I say. I am not teasing you, I swear. If you wish to leave and turn a new leaf, then...
Are you out of your goddamn mind?
Why are you angry at me? Well, I am only saying that if you feel like you do not find any more satisfaction here.
Stop. Why are you doing this?
What? Supporting you?
No, you're not supporting me. Maybe you think you are, but you're wrong. I know you're not trying to test or guilt trip me either. But what are you doing right now is putting all the blame on me. Like everything that is happening right now is because of my whim or something.
No, of course not. Luke. Oh, goodness me. Oh no. You are right. You are absolutely correct. But that was not my intention, I swear. Listen!
You told me your story just now, and I figured what you tried to tell me was follow your own path, and not other people's expectations, right? But I saw a completely different moral in it. That is, don't betray your friends. You know I love Shelter. I love all the dogs.
Yes.
Of course it would be easy to just throw it all away and go live in a cabin in the woods or something. But do you really think that would make me happy? Make me or anyone happy? Maybe I am a slave to my role, but there is a reason why I had surrendered myself to all of that in the first place, right? It's not like someone forced me into that. And it's not like I'm being a selfish martyr suffering for you or anything. I started and continued doing all of this for myself, for very selfish reasons. Because seeing all of you happy makes me happy. Because this is something great and special that only I can do. But regardless how much I care about Shelter, this love runs thin when it's so one-sided. All because of differences between us that we can never overcome.
That is not true.
Yes, it is. You can all tolerate me. Okay, we'll do that. Okay. You can all tolerate me. Some of you can even think of me as a friend, but it's not the same as you are a friend with another dog, right? You may deny all you want, but it takes only one Teak to reveal the truth.
Please, do not say it like that.
I kept my sanity by ignoring my own nature and pretending that, in time, maybe the differences would somehow just fade away on their own. But they always will matter. Dogs like Teak will be there to remind me of that. For as much as I hate Teak, I know I should be grateful to him for disillusioning me. My avoidance of those issues wasn't healthy. They couldn't go on. But in the end, what really hurt me the most was not even Teak or any of those strangers I couldn't connect with, but you. Once again, we stare at each other in silence. Right now, the noises outside of those distant roars of beasts and occasional discharges of magic. There is a fury and desperation burning in those voices outside, somewhere far away. A stark contrast to the remorse of our silence.
Luke, I did all I could. I was always trying to have your back.
Yeah, you sure showed that to Teak earlier. You could have stopped him, but you didn't. Max did. But all of you still showed more care to Teak than me. That is the whole problem, Burry. You say how much you care about me, and you're probably convinced that's true. But you're contradicting your words with your actions. Or lack thereof. If I have such good, supportive friends, why do I still feel like a stranger among you people? Why do people who berate and put me down get all the support in this community while I am ignored? Why do I constantly overwork myself so hard? I'm almost going insane. Why the hell do I always feel like the loneliest person in the world if I'm surrounded by so many great friends?
No, Luke!
I will tell you why. That's because we both know nobody can really help me. The reason why I feel so overwhelmed and hopeless with everything in my life here is because of my circumstances are overwhelming and helpless. Both of us have always known that. There is nobody who can run shelter but me. That's way too much for just one person to handle. But what can you do about that? Nothing. Back in the tavern, you can't do anything about my alienation either. You can't turn me into a dog. You can't make everyone treat me like one another, like one either. We are simply born different. All of that comes to just one problem none of us have any control over. My race. And the worst part is, you always knew how I felt. And you decided to ignore that.
What?
Oh yes. Or at the very least, you could know. But maybe, at one point, you simply decided to turn a blind eye to that. You are a canine. You can do things I can't. You can feel my emotions with your racial ability. The canine empathy. That has been bothering me for so long, Burry. You always had the way to know how I felt, but you didn't do anything about it. You know, I know it's wrong to expect others to solve my problems for me. If I have issues, I should do something about them on my own. And I tried, I did, and I couldn't. Not on my own, and Burry. There were so many days when I was so overburdened, I simply couldn't do anything. But I'd just try to keep it together and bear with it. And down inside, I always kept that quiet hope that you would still approach me on your own. If I could magically read your mind like you can bet your ass I would help you. So why didn't you? Is it because you knew I still had enough willpower to stay quiet and force through my issues? There was no point in stirring the trouble, right? And you knew exactly how much I was I was still safely willing to suffer and stay stable. You were good at judging that. That used to be your job, after all, right?
Please, stop!
You peered into all those minds and judged how much further they could be pushed. You always wielded your mind like a weapon and treated the lives of others like tools. There is no mind that can escape your judgment, no matter the species. And you thought I was an open book to you too. You must have felt pretty stupid by getting your... I don't know this word. Meticulous, that's what it is. Your meticulous judgment shattered by the surprise crisis nobody could have predicted tonight, huh?
You're wrong!
No, you're wrong. I know what you're capable of. I wonder, what was going on in your head when you observed and judged me? Did you consider yourself a shepherd, keeping peace and sheltered with little sacrifices? I didn't want to think about you that way. I really believed you were a different person. That I was your friend, not a pawn.
Luke, how can you even say something like that?
Maybe you don't know me as well as you thought after all. You know what? I'm done taking all the blame. I've had enough of feeling like I'm the only person who really cares here. I can't even care whether you're even friends anymore. We're even friends anymore or not. This is not how friendship should feel like. I'm done with you all. I mean it. Come on, read me. See how I feel about you right now, Burry. I stand up, spread my arms, while glaring down at Burry, with an almost snarl. My whole body is made of hatred, guilt, and frustration. Burry stares back at me with his mouth ajar, his lips trembling. I wish I could feel him with empathy now. However, unfairly, that only works one way. And I hate that. Come on, tell me. Am I being honest or not? How do I feel?
Burry
looks away and cowers. For such a huge guy, he appears so small to me now. Come on, speak. Because if you won't, I will. Burry, from this day onwards, you and I are...
I cannot! I cannot read you with empathy, Luke.
What? Stop lying. You said yourself that you can read any mind, any species. It's only a matter of time to get proper understanding, and you have known me for years.
Yes, and even after all those years, yours still remains a mystery to me.
No way. But if you can't,
then nobody can. Neither Rune nor Max, nor anyone else in Shelter, to my knowledge.
Like having a rug pulled from under my feet, the rage inside me dissipates into confusion and nothingness. I'm struggling to find any bearing on how I should feel right now. So I stubbornly grasp back in my anger and say, "And what does that change, huh? Nothing." Even though I know it changes everything.
Luke, I am not in the very least surprised that you have been feeling this way. If anything, it brings me a degree of confidence to finally see you break. Because now I can finally see the limit of your strength. You are not a god.
Of course I'm not. What the hell are you talking about? I'm just a guy.
No, Luke. As you said, I have known you for years. I bore witness to all of your miracles and blessings. You are anything but ordinary. You may feel like you are being alienated, and that is not incorrect. Those who do not know you fear you. Those of us who become your friends can still never fully understand you. Not the way a dog can understand another dog. It is hard to approach you with confidence when we can't rely on one another, one of our most important senses. There's only one circumstance when I can read your emotions, and that is when I use your mana. When I wield my understanding of the truth. The way you think is vast, deep, unbelievably complex, like I had been my whole life, and through your power, I can finally be awake, truly alive. Even though that short use of it, my own mind changed forever. I became aware of things that eluded me all that time, if that was how you felt all the time. Then, that had to be the reason you could not you could do all the things that nobody else could. Not only to operate the ancient relics, but also save so many hearts that lost their way. And with Teak, I thought, Luke. I thought Teak was the next one to be saved. His time is running short, I know it. I thought you had plans for him, just like you did with Rune and Max. And with me.
All right. I'll end the part here. So I'll see you around, everyone.